Inquiry into state capture at Eskom has recommended criminal charges be laid against the Gupta brothers, Duduzane, Zuma and Duduzane and Myeni. The committee has finalised its report, which details widespread corruption and mismanagement at the power utility. At the same time, Eskom's finances reveal it's struggling to stay afloat as debt soars. Joining us this morning is energy analyst from EE Publishers, Yelland. Chris, good morning.
Morning.
And thanks for your time. Just going back on this report, like what we just heard now about those charges, the recommendations, the Gupta brothers, Duduzane, Zuma, Dudu and Myeni. We also see the inquiry finding that Malusi Gigaba, Lynn Brown, grossly negligent in carrying out their responsibilities. Did this report really surprise us with these recommendations? Was it anything that we hadn't suspected already?
No, for me, we've heard it all. We've watched the hearings. And finally, we have the report. There was a draft report that was leaked.
Yes.
And so this really comes as confirmation of that. So nothing really surprising here, except for one thing. I'm always surprised that these reports don't make very conclusive findings in terms of the actions that are recommended.
Yes.
And we see here now that it's recommending that a number of these executives at Eskom, for example, must be referred to the Zondo Commission. Now, there have been at least 5 previous investigations and reports by all manner of independent parties that have all sort of made adverse findings, but it seems that it can never be brought to a criminal investigation. And it's always just referred to yet another investigation, and now we see that a lot of these are being recommended to appear before the Zondo Commission.
Yeah.
And of course the Zondo Commission itself is unlikely to make findings of a criminal nature. No, it is a commission. So eventually it gets pushed out, and hopefully something will happen in the end.
Well, it has recommended, though, that criminal charges
against
be laid
certain,
against certain
individuals. Yes, it has.
Okay, so what would you like to see happening now? Obviously, that if it was within their power to sort of lay the charges, yes, but they can't. So seeing as this is the recommendation, what now?
Well, of course, the Zondo Commission is in progress at the moment. So some of them have appeared before the Commission, some of them will still appear before the Commission. I just hope that the National Prosecuting Authority will take the matter up and do its job.
It's also calling for lifestyle audits. I mean, do you think that is something that is necessary when we already know and we already have proof and testimony that, you know, regardless of what kind of lifestyle they're living, we know that they agree to certain things and agree to manipulate things in certain ways.
This is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. It seems that we just go nowhere, you know, rehashing and more investigations instead of taking the necessary action that can and should be taken immediately.
Okay, so also just looking at what it's had to say about Eskom, but also looking at the state of Eskom now at the moment. I mean, yes, we could argue that the damage that was done during the time while these people were involved, while they were doing whatever it is they were apparently doing, that this is now we're still feeling the effects of that. But would you agree that we are still feeling the effects of all of this, or that with the newish board in place, we should have just come a little further than where we are with Eskom's troubles at the moment?
Yeah, I think we are seeing the legacy of this gross mismanagement, corruption, maladministration that has taken place at Eskom over the last 5 years. Yesterday we had the Eskom financial results. This is the results for the first 6 months of this financial year. In other words, from the 1st of April 2018 until the end of September. And this is really the first 6 months that the new management have been in place. And what we saw yesterday with the new CFO really laying it bare for the first time.
Okay, so you're encouraged by that?
I am encouraged.
Despite how gloomy the news was.
Exactly,
okay.
But what they are doing is they are revealing the extent of the damage that was done during the years of mismanagement, which really at the end centered on Mr. Malefi, Mr. Machela Kalko, Mr. Sean Maritz, all of whose names are mentioned in the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee report as being needed to be taken further. Okay. So, but yesterday we really had it laid bare, and it was devastating to see the damage that has been done.
And that we will suffer for how long, do you think? How long do you think it's going to take Eskom to recover from all of this?
Well, the chairman of Eskom yesterday said that we're going to hit bottom, then we're going to develop a plan, and maybe in several years' time we'll start seeing the improvement. So I think we're likely to see Eskom's poor financial results extend at least for the next 3 years.
And while I have you here, Eskom now saying, like you say, it's struggling for survival, cannot guarantee that there will be no load shedding in the near future. From what you know, and you keep your eye on the on the situation there a lot, does it seem like we're in for
Yes,
some load shedding? From what
it
you
does. We've already experienced our first
a little
taste,
bit, yeah.
and we had quite a stark warning. On the one hand, there was the thing that we cannot guarantee there will be no load shedding,
Yeah.
but the CFO actually said the probability of load shedding is high.
It just depends on how severe the load
Yes,
shedding
and
will
remember, we're now, you might say, in the hands of the gods. Eskom have basically said it depends on the weather. Now, what that really means, and remember, there's nothing unusual about the rainy weather in December, but what it's really saying is it's out of our control. It's in the hands of God in terms of the weather. And that, for me, is a discouraging sign. It means they haven't got a grip on the problem, and they are praying for no rain.
Well, it's either too hot or it's too cold, and no rain, and people need air cons, people need heaters. We never know what we're supposed to do. Okay, well, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's see what happens. And like you say, it is a lot of cleanup to do after the damage that was done over 5 years. Thanks very much. And will those criminal charges actually happen? And will they bear any fruit? Energy analyst from EE Publishers, Chris Yelland. Well, that's the state of Eskom at the moment, partner. You're going to Limpopo, tragedy.
Yeah, but prepare your charcoal for brine. There'll be no electricity. Who knows for Christmas?